Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Bountiful Life. Today I wanted to make another LifeWise video, and this one is called Fight for Her. And this is kind of for guys, but I mean, maybe it can apply in other areas of your life if you think about it like that. So if a guy loves his woman, he needs to be willing to fight for her. Like, things are going to go sideways in life, and when things get rough, the guy needs to be able to fight for his woman. He needs to be able to know that that's who he wants and that's what he wants, and keep her and fight for her. And I have a real life illustration of this that I'm excited to share because they're big fans of my channel. But I have some really close friends recently, and they've been together for a handful of years, and she kind of like had said there was stuff wrong. Like, she had been saying there's stuff wrong, these things are not working out, and it was points of contention for a long time, which generally it is. Generally, women will tell you what's going on and what the problem is for a long time before they actually leave. So when they get to the point of leaving, it means that there's been problems a long time, they've tried to address them, and they've been ignored. But anyway, besides that, so she finally decided she was going to break up with him, and, you know, they lived together, so he had to move out, and it was a little hairy, and I felt very bad for them because I liked them together. They were good, and, like, I kind of knew the whole story because, like, we're very close, and she was talking to her high school sweetheart again, and I like both of them, but her high school sweetheart did her real wrong. He cheated on her, and it just wasn't a good situation. And in my heart, once a cheater, always a cheater. So I don't think much has changed with him. He's been through a divorce. I don't think much has changed with him. They still had all that mad chemistry and everything going on. And I was just like, you know, I'm going to love you and be supportive, but I don't think that that's a good choice. You know, I'm like, if you don't want to be with him, then you should just have broke up with him, not get into something really bad for you. But whatever she chooses, I will love her and support her. And so when they had finally kind of really broke and he had moved out, I wrote him like an encouraging little message and said, hey, you know, God has somebody better for you, you know, it'll get easier, that kind of thing, like, you know, so he didn't feel so bad or whatever about the whole thing. And he writes me back and says, oh, this isn't over. I'm gonna fight for her. This is not over, and we are not breaking up. And I'm just like, oh, because, like, I knew where she was with the guy from high school in her mind, and I'm just like, ew, this is not gonna end well for you. And I was just like, oh, this is just getting worse and worse. And then what happened was incredible, because he did fight for her, and he was showing up at her door every night with dinner for her and the kids and all kinds of stuff. He was putting the work in. He agreed to go to counseling. They've been in counseling together. He's making changes on the things that were issues. They're working together to resolve some of those things through the counselor, and it was just incredible. Like, I never saw that turning out like that, but I was super, super happy to see that work out like that. So, like, if you really love your woman, you fight for her, because even if you lose, at least you put in a good fight and you had balls and you did it. And from personal experience, well, things in my marriage were really bad, and I had to leave, like, no matter what, and there wasn't really any reconciling by the point that I left because of my own safety being involved. But after I left, he had sent me texts and like, oh, you know, blah, 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 and like, oh, we should do counseling. And like, finally I wore down and I said, you know, if you want to do counseling, you pick a Christian licensed marriage counselor, you make the appointment, you pay the bill, and I'll show up for it. And after that, he never said counseling to me again. And like, it was just like the whole thing that happened with me, he wasn't fighting for me. That was damage control, because if he got divorced, he wanted a divorce, but he just didn't have the balls to do it. And it would look bad for him if he gets a divorce, and if I leave him, and the way I was doing it, it looked really bad. And so that was damage control. That was not fighting for somebody that you love. So it was nice to see my friend fight for her. Like, it was nice to see him really put in that fight. Like, there are guys out there that love their woman and they will put in the fight and think she's worth it. And I have one more example before I go of someone that I thought of when I was pondering all this stuff for months and months before I finally made this video. I have a neighbor growing up, and she had moved out of state and came back, and she was talking to this guy that goes to her church and from high school, and they were like super close. Like, everyone was trying to couple them up or whatever, and he really loved her and he wanted to marry her. He literally asked her to marry him 4 times before she said yes. He asked her 1 time, she said no. He asked her 2 times, she said no. He asked her 3 times. He was persistent. He loved her, and that's who he was going to have, and that's who he wanted to be with. And by the 4th time, she finally said yes, and they have been happily married for a lot of years, and they have kids that are like graduated high school now, I think. Oh my goodness. But so there are guys out there that love their woman and will fight for her. So if you really love somebody, you need to put in the effort and fight for them, because if you don't, then you just don't. And that shows who you are, and it shows people where you were with the relationship, because there's a big difference between fighting for someone and loving them and damage control. Anyway, I hope this is helpful and encourages somebody in their relationship. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. Please give me a like if you liked the video, and subscribe to my channel. Share this video on your Facebook if you think it will help other people, or you know people that are going through difficult times. Send them the video, because we need more people that love each other to stay together. Have a great day. Bye.